We always hear about Italian gangsters and the mafia, but to my recollection, there was a certain Jewish era where Jews
No
kind of
question.
ran the street. You know, Meyer Lansky and Bugsy Siegel and those kind of guys. Do you know anything about that era in New York?
I know everything about it.
Oh, man.
My grandfather, my father's father, his name was Philip Mendelevich. They used to call him the Mad Hungarian. He's in a lot of the books. He's referenced. He divorced my grandmother. Back in those days, they didn't really have divorce. This is like in the 40s, even I think the late 30s. He was a wild gangster type. I was told of his story that in the 40s, he lost $1 million in a poker game.
In the 40s. That's like 10 million nowadays, no?
More.
More.
Much more, like 100 million. Gangster, you buy a house in those days for $1,000. A full house, a nice house. And it didn't end well for him. No one in my family would ever talk about him or give me any information about him. Except, a couple of times when some of the cousins said, he's like his grandfather. When they wanted to talk about me in a very derogatory way, tough guy, whatever. He was a pretty wild, crazy guy. A member of Murder Incorporated.
Wow.
With Meyer Lansky and Albert Spears, all those guys.
And Bugsy Siegel, Frank Costello, all those guys.
Bugsy, supposedly he grew up with them. He grew up with Bugsy Siegel. They ran gangs on the streets of Brooklyn.
Wow.
And that's where our family's from. A true story.